what's happening? That's the question we're all trying to grapple with. And I've lost my train of thought. What was the question?
How would you respond to that?
We'd like to believe that we have equality in the workplace, but the truth is we don't. So my name is Lisen Stromberg. I am a cultural diversity and innovation advisor and consultant. My focus is on advancing women in the workplace. Accelerating Women is now working with companies so that they can really look at what are they doing at a deeper level, and we're looking at data. We're actually doing extensive analysis of what companies are doing and looking at data across the company, their human resources policies, their doing wage audits for them, helping them look at what the bias is, doing workshops, that kind of thing. We see a real opportunity to create some innovation around this that doesn't just benefit women, but actually truly benefits the next generation of workers. Millennials really want all the things that women have been wanting for years. Women are, as we've said, the canaries in the coal mine about the workplace, and we really want to change it so everyone benefits. One of our major clients is the 3% Conference. The 3% Conference was focused and started by Kat Gordon, who felt passionately that we needed more creative leadership, more women in creative leadership in advertising agencies. So, shockingly, 3% of creative directors are women. We now know it to be 11%, but that's still far too low. And so we're working together to try and change that ratio. In my role as a consultant with the 3% Conference, I have found that there's such an appetite in the advertising and marketing industry to try and really raise women's voices and actually depict women as we know them to be. So we're seeing a lot of change and shift, and awareness is fantastic. But awareness is not enough. We now know we have to move beyond awareness to activation. 3% is launching, or has just launched, its 3% certified program, where we're working with agencies to actually make change by going in and evaluating their programs or policies and certifying what they are doing. If they actually are a 3% certified agency, we know as a potential employee, as a marketer who might hire this agency, that they are going to actually be very female friendly, and that's what we want. The other thing that was really fascinating is last year the 3% did for the first time an industry-wide analysis of women. And here is what was fascinating learning. One, what we discovered is, while very few agencies actually had women at the top, those agencies that had at least 25% of women in senior management ended up having better pay for women, better projects for women, more equality across the board, and was a better working environment. The women were more satisfied in that. That just shows you that when we get to a point where we actually have more women in those senior leadership positions, then in fact it's beneficial for everyone. One of the questions we ask ourselves are, why are there so few women in senior leadership? What is happening? And of course we know it's a pyramid. Women come in and we're pretty on par with men when we enter the entry level, but then as we get higher and higher, more and more women leave. They leave either the industry completely or workplace completely. In fact, the United States, almost 25% of college-educated women leave the workplace to focus on their families. The challenge that women are facing are the responsibilities of caring for their children, their parents, their loved ones, and that typically happens mid-career for women. So why do we have this triangle structure? It's really around caregiving. The more we can create workplaces that actually support caregiving, the more we can actually share caregiving as couples, the more we're going to see women staying in the workplace and thriving. And of course, as a result, as we know, the GDP expands, companies do better when they have more women at the top, the profitability of companies gets greater, the work itself becomes more innovative when we have more diversity in the workplace. So we know that everyone benefits when we keep women in, and that's the goal. So the truth of the matter is, we'd like to believe that we have equality in the workplace, but the truth is we don't. And again, if you look at the leadership pyramids, you understand that that's just the raw data. The facts show that it isn't the case. So what are women facing? We've already seen that they have wage inequity, that we've got women making anywhere from 70 to 80% of what a man makes. We also know that women face unconscious bias in the workplace in terms of not being able to be supported for their voices and what they have to say, that their voices often are shut down. We also see that women face a motherhood bias. When 80% of American women are having children, and then they face a bias for that in the workplace, for their needs for flexibility and their needs for perhaps nonlinear career paths, we know that there are resistance. We can look at our HR policies. Are we offering paternity leave and maternity leave? New research is showing that the more men take paternity leave, the more women stay in their careers. Let's make sure we're seeing men do that. Let's expand the opportunity for both genders in the workplace. Can we get a picture of us three? Yes. Yes.